Peru done.
Hello, hello, everybody. I know Chicken in the South is just finishing up, so give it a couple minutes. Maybe I'll do a little sprinkle while we're waiting for everybody to pop in.
And then,
Oh, don't want to hear. Come on in and let me know where you're from. Hello, hello. Come on in. Gosh, I'm going to have a tickle in my throat all night. Come on in and let me know where you're from. This is Jeanette from Backroom Creations, and this is my segment in Craft Around the Clock. Hopefully, Sugar in the South was finishing up. Hi, Miss Tracy. Tonight we are going to finish something that I started. Hi, Cindy, Albany, Missouri. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A couple months ago, I did a craft show for my wreaths, and I made bases. I made a ton of bases. This is one I didn't finish, so I thought I love black and white buffalo for farmhouse. So I had a little chicken. It's an embossed chicken sign that I had got. Actually, I have two, so I can make a matching pair. But we're going to finish this tonight because I can't make a whole wreath in 45 minutes, but we can surely decorate it up. So this is what we consider a pixie wreath, or it's on an 8-inch frame from Dollar Tree. And I just used one kind of mesh, a black and white. I love it for farmhouse. I love it for anything. I just like black and white. And then it was just hanging on the wall. So we're going to finish this up tonight, and we're going to put our cute little chicken on it for down on the farm. And we're going to bring you down on the side camera so you can see what I'm doing. Then we're going to make a bow. I made a bow the other night just because I had a few more minutes. So welcome, everybody. Let me know that you're here and where you're from. I love to make new friends. I got my shirt today, Tracy. I love it. And then when I paint, I got an apron to match. So, like I said, this is called a pixie wreath, because it's on an 8-inch frame from Dollar Tree. And I still got my pipe cleaners on here. If you wanted to know, this is the Woodland Ruffle. It's 10-inch mesh. It was cut at 20 inches, and there's 10 pipe cleaners on the frame, 5 on the outside, 5 on the inside. If you have more questions about that, if you've not been exposed to the wreathing community, just send me a message. Marie, how are you? Oh, thank you so much, Marie. So we're going to get started. I already cut up some ribbon tails, is what we call them. And I have a buffalo print with the farm fresh. It's got the pig and the chicken and the cow. And then I also have another one. Hi, Angela. We have some red ticking, which I love. And another farm fresh with the 3. And this one's got a little barn on it. Okay, I thought I didn't cut up enough. So we're going to alternate these. These are cut at 12 inches. And we dovetail them and I fold them in half. I fold them in half to pair them up and also to show me where my middle is. I used to just stack them up, and then one night I messed up my pairs and I had to redo half a wreath. So from that point on, I have always just folded them and paired them up. So we just V ours. I like mine V'd. A lot of people. Hi, Joan. How are you doing? Some people crisscross them. I like to put them in a little V. All up to your preference. Hey, Patty Crane. I put cable mounts. I use DAP super glue, and that's how I attach my cable mounts. That's how I attach my metals. Well, mostly all my signs that I put on my wreaths. So we put this set there. Hi, Yolanda. And then we're going to use our other set. So this is directional ribbon. So if it bothers you that one's upside down, all I can say right now is get over it. No, just kidding. It just happens. It's not a big deal. Thank you, Angela. I know all my wreathy friends are not used to me being live on a Friday night, but Craft Around the Clock had some openings that need to be filled, and I happen not to be working, so even have my trusty sidekick Floyd here.
Hi.
He's so quiet during the Craft Around the Clock ones. Of course, he's usually not here. Angela is my BFF from California. I am in Ohio, if you don't know. We're just going to put these all the way around the side on the edges. Whether we put any in the middle, I don't know. I think I didn't cut enough, but that's okay. We have plenty of time. I say that and then I'll rush at the end. If you're interested in learning how to make a wreath base, I have all my videos on my page. You can go back and visit those. I do grapevines as well. Not as many, but some. Hi, Ellen. How are you doing? Hope everybody has had a great week. The highlights of my week is crafting. Come home from a stressful day at work. Unfortunately, my husband has a new job and he's not home with me in the evenings. So, thank you, honey. Angela and I actually met in one of the wreathing communities. We have gone to events together. Her husband, my husband. Her husband isn't really part of her business per se. I mean, he helps her out some, but Floyd can make a mean little bow. He makes one kind of wreath and one kind of bow. But boy, when, if I need him to step up, he will.
Is that true?
What?
I make more than one kind of wreath.
Okay, you branched out to pancake pixie.
I make pixies. I make full size. I make pancake.
Okay, 3.
All right.
And one bow.
Yes.
He only makes one bow.
One.
Now, these are the same because there's only 5 on the outside, so you're going to get 2 that are next to each other. Not a huge deal. I saved this extra one for the middle because sometimes you might have an empty space. Most wreath makers will put ribbon tails everywhere. And then all of a sudden one night I'm like, why am I putting a ribbon tail where I'm going to put a bow? Or my ribbon tail is being funky or wonky because it's coming out from behind my sign and it won't lay right. So I just stopped putting them in the middle until I have everything on there that I need. I should have done this one a full-size one because it doesn't take very long to decorate a wreath. Because it seems like lately I've been doing all these projects that I have to race to finish. And I'm like, okay, I got to step back a little bit. I hate racing. Because then I'm not paying attention to my comments. So we have all 5 of these on here. And I will usually put my bow. When I talk to people about placement, I talk to them around a clock. So here's my 12 o'clock. Here's my 6, 3, 9. I will usually put my bow about 10, 11. Or sometimes I put it 4 or 5. But that's usually where they are. Okay, hon, have a good eats. She's also 3 hours behind us. Hi, Marilyn. How are you? So here's my little chickie. I think I got him from Craft Outlet. If you buy ribbon, if you like ribbon, Craft Outlet's a great place to find it. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to make a bow. Okay, this is my easy bow maker. Actually found one today. I did not know that they actually made this bow maker without this part over here where you put the ribbon. I found it at a thrift store today. I probably should have bought it, but I didn't because I don't need it. But it was only like $2. I'm like, oh wow. So we have all the ribbons that we used in our tails. I usually like to incorporate some new ribbon in my bow. It makes it stand out from the wreath. So I do have everything. I have a gray. This is a chicken wire. Oh, that was cute. I haven't even got into this roll yet. I probably won't use this one. And I won't use this one because the wreath is black and white, and that might blend a little bit more than I want. I did find some paisley. When I think of paisley, I think of cowboy, right? With the bandana and stuff. So they still have, comes on a horse farm. So we'll start with that one, these two. And then this one wasn't in our tails. So we'll definitely use that one. And I don't know about you guys, but I love ticking. I have it in black and green and blue and red. And we love our buffalo check. So I think this is going to be our 5 ribbons. I normally do 5, 3 or 2 2.5 inch, and 3 1.5 inch when I make a funky bow. So I'm going to show you what a funky bow is. I made one the other night when I had 3 minutes. This is kind of what a funky bow is. Hi, Darlene. How are you doing? That's what a funky bow looks like. Usually Christmas time I will start using more long tails and lots more ribbon. Must have not been in this one for a while because I no longer put rubber bands around my ribbon because it leaves an indentation if you don't use it very often. And I have a lot of ribbon. So I always dovetail as I go. Sometimes I forget. So usually my first loops are 6 inch. So my tail is always an inch longer on a funky bow. If I make a long tail bow, they're usually about 10 to 12, depending on the size of the wreath. And then we're going to start with some 6 inch loops. I like to make bows. I have bows for every season. You do not have to have a bow that is made with ribbon from your wreath. You can make all new ones. I usually like to put the bottom wreath or bottom ribbon. What size is the wreath? Oops, here goes my chicken. So this one's about 18 inches. Hi, Zena. Thank you, honey. So it's about 18 inches around. Katie from Crazy May Creations, LLC, started making pixies during the pandemic. Her father is in a nursing home, and she wanted to give the residents there something nice because, it was COVID. Some of them didn't even have family that come to see them. And that's a great size to take to like nursing homes or elderly parents that maybe are in, because their quarters are usually a little bit smaller than a regular house. So they are just a nice size. My grandchildren have made pixie wreaths and they like them. If you ever make bows and you struggle, I struggled in the very beginning. I've been making wreaths for about 3.5 years now. In the very beginning, none of my wreaths had bows on them. I couldn't make a bow. I hated to make those. So after about 3 months, I figured if I'm going to sell wreaths, I better learn to make a bow. So I just watched people. Scott Waterman, David Oates. Deb. My Friday, we went thrift shopping. This is the only week that Floyd and I have had off together since we started our new jobs. And so he found some thrift stores that were new to us on his way to work, which is not a way that I go any time at all. So we went up there in the rain. we hit a couple places. I come home with 3 bags of candlesticks and baskets and some stuff I want to paint, and I didn't even spend $20. So that was nice. He bought him I would say it's not a jewelry box, it's just an open box that was lined with green. So I don't know what he's been in full. If you watch us very often, you'll hear us say he's in research and development. So here lately he's on Crackle. He wants to know what the glue does and the hairspray does and all the different things that you can use to crackle. So what's your favorite so far?
Hairspray.
So hairspray is his favorite color. It does little crackles.
Color?
Huh?
Hairspray is my favorite color.
Or favorite method, sorry. So he just does some little boards and test it out. And he's been doing the where you print words or something, pictures, reverse, and do the reverse decoupage. He did it, what was it, a basket or something with flowers in it the other day? I don't remember. But he's been having fun. I work a mid shift, he works seconds, so we don't see each other a whole lot. Guess we can't argue then. I woke up the other morning and he's upstairs painting. We might have to find some greenery to put in this one. Because I could have had this done in 15 minutes, but I'm trying to talk and just not have to work so fast. So if you don't know us, we started our business about, hey Deanne, 3 years ago. We are a business together. We make wreaths and I like DIY. I love everything crafting. But I did primarily sell wreaths my first 3 years. And then I got into doing painting and decoupage, which I've always loved. I just have been making. We make sublimation signs. We have 8 children together. I mean, he has 4, I have 4. We have 9 together. Well, thank you for stopping by, Dolores. I'm glad you're here. I'm in slow action today because my project is not that big, which is nice because I'm usually racing. I always have big ideas. We have 8 children. We have 8 grandchildren from those kids, and 5, I call them 5 inherited. You know, it's not the kid's fault that parents get divorced and remarried and all that. Yes, we have 8 kids. So we have 13 grandchildren altogether, ages 1 to 14. We have 2 grandkids starting kindergarten, high school this year. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have high schoolers. No. Hi, Pat, how are you doing? So the X is what you do in a funky bow. So my tails are over my loops, and my loops are over my bow. I do sell ribbon by the yard if anybody's interested. So now these 2 sets of ribbons have 6-inch loops. Now we're going to start gradually going down. My son, who's 33 now, has been an introvert. He just He's been a homebody. He's like, I don't need women. I don't, has finally moved out. Woohoo! We're empty nesters. And moved in with his girlfriend who has 2 children. Cute little kids. They come over. His girlfriend works a lot on the weekends, so my son has them, and they'll come over and play. My youngest son is 25. And he has one of the inherited grandchildren. She turns 1 next week. And he's been there her entire life. I raised my kids. We had custody of. Hi, Mary. How you doing? We had custody of 3 of his daughters at one point, and we don't. It's not his and hers, and it's just our family. Like I said, it's not the children's fault. Makes for a very interesting holiday. It does. The grandchildren are anywhere from 1 to 14. So now we got that adolescent attitude going on. They're pretty good kids. Get a little rambunctious once in a while, but what kids won't? Thank you for sprinkling me out. I appreciate it so much. What I do is when we get up to 30 people, I pull 5 names and put them in my bucket. And then at the first part of next month, we'll start pulling names. We'll pull names. I'm still learning all the torch paste. Have you heard that in all your research?
No.
Oh, gives him something else to research, Patty. He's the one that did the. Thank you, Deb. Much appreciated. He's the one that did the hairspray. I hadn't even. Hey, Francine. How you doing? I know my times have not been regular lately because I started my new job, and at first I didn't know how to, because Floyd has always been here. I've never had to go solo with the cameras and all that and going live. He's always done that for me, so now I have very detailed notes. One night I didn't have my side camera, so we winged it with the front one. Which is all right. We can do that. Okay. Always got to make sure your loops are over your tails and your tails over your loops. Phyllis wants to know how you crackle with hairspray.
Okay, first coat of paint, let it completely dry. Put a extra heavy layer of aerosol hairspray. Well, they said you can use a pump too. I haven't tried that one yet. An extra heavy layer of hairspray on the first coat of paint. Let it completely dry.
So the hairspray has to be completely dry.
The hairspray has to be completely dry, unlike the glue. And then you brush your top coat of paint on and hit it with a heat gun.
That board you did downstairs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Huh. Did you read what Patty wrote? We have never heard that one.
It's similar to the wood burning pin.
Oh, okay.
You use it with stencils. I have a laser, so I have a really super fancy wood burner.
Yeah. Now, did you just do 1 layer of hairspray, or did you let it dry and do 2?
Just one.
Just 1? Just a heavy one? Because I've seen some people say put 2.
Who is Ocean Breeze in me?
Mary.
Mary, I did not use the drying tool on the hairspray. I don't think the research I did said that you could or you couldn't.
I think I seen somebody do it though.
I just set it in front of a fan and let it air dry.
But you know, when we're live, we gotta, go, go, go.
I don't see why you couldn't use a heat tool on it. So I do regular wood burning. I have a really expensive actual wood burning.
Yes, my granddaughter loves to come up and use that.
Be honest with you though, I haven't used it since I got the laser.
He's got a small laser. It doesn't it's not like a Glowforge. It will cut through real thin
specific
wood.
items, yes.
But
it's more for laser.
You have to do over and over and over again.
Hey.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, okay. Well, good. Then I got some ideas now.
Buy your own.
Buy my own. Where'd my pipe cleaner go?
Everything I buy, you keep trying to take over. Buy your own.
He said, buy my own. Thank you, Francine. So I use zip ties. I just started on there, get your pipe cleaner in there. Yeah, I know that's what I was thinking of, Mary, because we got to move. Of course, you're moving. She's moving from Pennsylvania to Rhode Island, is what you said earlier. Girlfriend, you're better than me. I wouldn't be going live 2 days before I'm moving. I'd be in a panic. Oh. All right, Deb, thanks for stopping by. I missed my little shelf here.
Bow maker down.
That's all right.
Yeah, 6 more.
Yeah, I have 6 more for when I have a class. So I kind of spread my, some people will tell you a systematic way of putting everywhere. I just make sure my tails aren't next to my loops of the same color and vice versa. Everything goes in an X somewhere. I appreciate everybody coming out and supporting us. I did have one of my wreath maker followers ask me, are you ever going to go back to making wreaths all the time? I'm like, probably not.
All the time?
All the time, probably not.
Getting closer to Christmas season, I'm sure she'll be making a lot more.
Yeah, I'll probably make a little bit more. Oh, did I have a sleigh left? I gotta find me a sleigh. We had a sleigh off the first year. He and I did a live together.
No, but there was a sled at the antique store. It wasn't too bad, right?
Oh, was it? It was huge, though, wasn't it? No. Okay. So this is how I fluff up my loops. You always want to use good quality ribbon that has wires in it. And then you take the sides, you just bring your hand across it. So I'm pinching and I'm pulling down. That kind of gives it a little fold there. I'm trying to go slow because I didn't realize that this was going to take such little time. I probably could have made a whole pixie wreath. I'll try one night.
Well, they've seen how to finish the base. Next time, just make the base.
Next time I'll show you how to make the base. I'm showing you how to finish one.
A little out of order, but
I can do a grapevine.
Broke my pen. I can do that.
Sorry, I got some over here. He's got to have his own pens. I broke his. So this is a funky bow. The reason it's called a funky bow is because it's just like loops and tails. I've even, so in some of my wreaths where I didn't end up using all the tails, I just throw an extra tail in there. I don't trim up my tails until I get it into the project to see if it's going to hang in front of something that I don't really need. Tighten it up. Go ahead and trim off these. I trim them off to about 1/4 of an inch, and then I just bend them over. Because if you ever have to fix an oops, or what Bob Ross called a happy accident, you always want to have something to hang on to. I learned that life lesson a long time ago. And the hard way. Not on a regular basis, Patty. His laser's smaller.
Mine is more for engraving.
It's more.
It can cut certain things. That's not really what it was designed for.
So,
I bought one more specifically for laser engraving.
Yeah. At some point, you know,
I don't have a spot for a proper laser to cut wood.
Yeah. I'd have to go out in the garage or the shed.
We'd never get it in the house.
Yeah, we wouldn't get in the house.
Unless we bought a Glowforge. I personally think Glowforges are overpriced. Personal opinion.
Yeah.
For what they do.
Okay, so remember our 2 sets of tails that are the same? I'm going to hide one with my bow. Kinda. So that way it's not as noticeable. And these are great if someone doesn't like, you know, large wreaths as wide as their door. A kid's room, you know, I've made my son, when he was here, he had me make one in the colors of Dragon Ball Z. Don't ask me, it's, you know, kids' characters, whatever. What'd you do?
Straight up ripped it in half.
You're funny.
I got Scotch tape.
Okay. So I don't mind hiding the tail a little bit. But, you know, if you have signs that have words on them, you don't want to hide that. You know, you want to put your sign or your embellishment or whatever you have in an intricate or, you know, a specific spot. But the tail, that's okay. So we're going to take our pipe cleaners that we attached. Thank you, Deanne. Deanne's my cow lover there. You don't want to pull it too tight because it'll look like it's pulling down into the wreath. And I think it's a little tight. We're going to stick his tail up in there. There we go.
I do like that paint, the onyx paint we bought from Menards.
Oh, the testers. Thank you, Patty. I believe the chicken came from Craft Outlet. Because I've had them for a while. You know, when I order stuff, I always order enough to get the free shipping. So sometimes I order things that I'm not intending to use right away. We wouldn't have the equipment to make celebration signs, but when I started making wreaths and found out sometimes he wanted one, and I said, no, I'm not spending much money. Well, then when I found out I couldn't find a specific sign that I wanted, like, then he's taunting me with, well, if we had our own printer And heat press, we could make
We already
our
had a
own.
heat
Or we already had a heat press. So I was pretty much sold on that.
Do it, Deanne. I want to see pictures.
Oh, cool. Deanne did a really good idea with a leaf. Did you see the picture of it?
Mhm.
She posted it in the group.
I watched part of the replay.
Oh, did you? Yep, really neat. I like that. If I find any of them, I'll have to steal your idea, girl.
I've never seen any of these.
Mm-mm. Or did you say Stacy got you one? Stacy's a sweetheart in doing that. She's the one that got me started on the football frames. Okay, now's when we'll look at our tails and see if we want to trim any.
Still got 9 minutes.
I know, I'm moving slow. I've never had to do such little. Now, I don't mind so much. Wait a minute. Oh, I was going to say, he's kind of crooked. So this white one is a little long for me. You can always trim them, but you can't glue it back. So make sure when you want to cut, that's where you want it. Now see, these two ended up next to each other again. I don't know how. Now, I always cut 1 or 2 extra. What's going on here? Okay. Extra sets of ribbons. I have an extra one here. I don't want to put it, I have an extra one there. I have one right here, but I don't want a ribbon tail. I don't want tails coming out there. It's too close to my rooster or chicken or whatever he is. Okay. This seems like it's getting pulled down. Oh, I did pull it down, didn't I? It's really hard not to pull things down, because then it looks, you want them to be equal pressure. I think I will put it right here. It's okay if he's got ribbon tails coming out his feet. So does anybody have really any big plans this weekend? I know, sounds like Miss Mary will be moving. I feel for you because I don't like to move. One right there. So a lot of my wreaths, sometimes I'll put flower bundles in them, or greenery. Some I just leave what I call plain with just, ribbon tails and bow and a sign. That is really bugging me. We got time to fix it.
Got 5 minutes.
Yep. And all I did was loosen that up a little bit so it's not pulling down.
Patty, organizing your stuff is a never-ending battle.
It is. It
Because
so is.
Because you probably won't even get done organizing what you'll have. Then you'll buy more.
Seasons change.
Seasons change.
My goal when I moved from my little room to this room was to keep everything in the house. Not. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween do not stay in the house. Thank you, Marie.
Not even close. There just isn't room.
No.
And we have a huge house.
Yep. Well, I've got Christmas ribbon here already because it's in my son's room. Oh yeah. Exactly.
No, it's absolutely true. Unless you've got a warehouse, and
Yeah.
I mean a really big warehouse, that you can keep everything in one spot. I mean, it's just not possible.
That is every crafter's problem. It absolutely is. So I'll show you real quick how I put a hanger on my wreaths.
As a side note, I do not like the wire hanger.
So I use this very heavy paper covered wire off of Amazon.
Oh, that's a new kind.
Yeah. So I don't have to twist the smaller one together. So we just make a U.
That's wonderful. Why you hadn't been borrowing the drill.
And then we're gonna come around the back and we're gonna hook it on there. I like to do it between a cross member if at all possible. And you don't want your hoop higher than your wreath because you don't want to see it when you hang it up. And then you just wrap that around. You do want to make sure, like, this is a little sharp. If I can't get that bent down, I'll put a little glue on it just to keep that wire from not scratching my customer's door or whoever I give it to. That's how I make a hanger. You can switch the camera for me. I will fluff and stuff my bow. I'll hang it and then I'll mess with my bow some more. There we go. So this is a cute, ouch, little pixie wreath. I didn't even put my bow where I said I was going to. Kind of ended better out as tail feathers. But this is just a simple, small wreath that anybody can make. Actually, I think I want to move it. Oh, that's the sign. And I apologize. I knew the name of the next crafter and it just poof went out of my mind. I didn't write it down this time. But if you go to Craft Around the Clock, not around, but Craft Around the Clock, you can see all the designers and creators from today, every day, Monday through Friday, depending on what time zone you're in, from 5 in the morning to 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's actually kind of neat if you get bored. One day I was watching so much, I'm like, oh, I got to get up and do something. Okay, we're going to move this real quick. We got time.
Phyllis asked if it's White's Creative Design.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I think Floyd's going to go check, though.
You can try. We're running low on time, though.
See, it's saved right there in my... Trying to find in between my poofs here. There we go. I had it on there, now I moved it. Now watch. I'll be able to get it on there.
All I see is videos. I don't see a listing.
It's okay. It's in the pictures. He's never been on the.
Nope, I'm off.
It's okay. Just go to Craft Around the Clock and you'll see who the next one is. You just click on their video. Tracy shares it as soon as they go live. And this is like right in the worst spot to put a bow.
You're out of time. It's time to go.
2 minutes.
No, you don't.
Oh.
It's 9:29.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I'll get it all moved in there and take a good picture. But that's how you finish out a wreath. And at some point, I'll make the base for you. All right. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I much appreciate the love and support that this community has given. And please go catch our next creator, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.